where I want it. Okay, not bad. Okay, so we're on number Dalet, and this is really looking for some nuance here. I didn't see too much. So number Dalet, Beor Yakar, he says, so he explains according to his way. He said the ish hu teferes is zer anpin. Now we've heard this. Or let's say the zer anpin levada. We've heard this before. V'adam hu Adam. That is the concept is yichud teferes of malchus, which is zer v'nok. So he says so he explains this over here. This is a quote. He said the inyan Adam meshuvah mebechinas ish. So he says, who Adam. He says, looking at that, he says, outside though is Adam. So the yichud lo kala the concept of the yichud is not incorporated here. What does he mean? Kol shechem ish shuhu. So in other words, he wants to say, the Adam is labar. Kol shechem the ish shuhu din yoser kedefrishna, which has more dinim in it because it's more dinim in it. But so the gam Adam shuhu b'sod the yichud, he remains outside anyway. This is a place that you can't get to. Chutz b'makom dikna, with the exception of the place of the beard, ki ein lo rabbaliyah b'his kalol b'dikna, because it has no aliyah, is not incorporated in the beard. V'im came kol shechem ishuhu yoser din. Okay, so I want to say that. So what's the idea of being incorporated in the beard exactly? 1 second. All right, I'm back. Okay, number hey. Let's look at number hey. He says, Bir Risruk. What does Risruk say? He said, Bezel Huvel the Ale, he said what we already saw. The Bir the Fidarko Sham the Adam who zer anpin. Lachashi Yitziyasa b'mei ima. Now over there it seems to be implied that once he comes out, then he's automatically, or along the way, it's implied that he's going to make a yichud with male and female there. The Lashon Adam Lavar, so this is the concept, Sheyatza Chutz the Mei Imo. The Shonu Sham Adam Lavar, Glomba Masha Karach B'Pasuk Adam, Hinder the Acha Sheyatza Mei Ima, that's what it is. Shaz Niz Davog Im Nukve, because then a yichud takes place. Adam the Nukve, etc. Ad Kan Ein Sham, because he says that's Mamela. What happens seems to be that he's talking about the actual coming out of the Me'ima, and then also the yichud that will take place as a result, which means what? While it's in the womb, there is no yichud. I don't know. I don't know the implications completely. Number 1, Bir Nissen is bar the Firagua, Ki Zer Anpin, Malbish the Erik Anpin, Minitiba the Mat. Shenechshav Chutz the Gufo, and this area is considered to be outside of the body of the Erik Anpin. Became in Shulchan B'Makom Nai, because it's in the place of the Nai. Nai is the legs. Labar Megufa, which is not really part of the body, but it surrounds it anyway. Ein Sham B'Ha'aros, and there's more to be said about that. Let's go on to the next one. So look over there and you'll see this. The man is on the outside, parts of Zer Anpin Tibur the Liba. So in the place, so he's using this word Tibur the Liba. So I'm thinking that it's somewhere in between the Tibur and the Chazet. That's what I'm thinking. Parts of Zer Anpin, which is at the Tibur the Liba. Asher Sham Ku Sod Hafra Parsa. This is the same place that you have this Parsa. Now the Parsa, which separates, which is a big separation, he said Besod of Rikia Hamavde Bein Maim the Maim, which is the secret of the Rikia that concept which separates between upper and lower waters, or between waters. Lebein Kodesh Zer Anpin, Lebein Kodesh Kadashim, between the Zohar, the Kedusha of Zer Anpin, who is called Kodesh Kadosh, Anpin, Lebein Kodesh Kadashim, the difference between Zer Anpin and Erik Anpin, which is Kodesh Kadashim. Mina Parsa Lamala Nikva Melgov, so then it's called inside. Mina Parsa Lamala Nikva Labar, it's called outside. So outside is Kitzonius, or more Kitzoni, and inside is Panemius. And that's that phrase there, Adam the Adam on the backside. Now we have just a little bit of a comment coming up on this one, and let's see. Here's a Rebbe Zohar Chai. He says, look at the Zohar Chai. Shabir kan lefi darko hanal, ein sham ba'orech v'lezecha bebir v'zel l'shona. Adam levar hu mislavish b'kitzonius olamos hanikra levar. So Adam clothes himself, is clothed in the outside part of the worlds, which is called the Vad Chutz, which is Chutz, V'al yedecha v'al yado nisaken, and through this is the way that it is revealed, rebelled. Let me see what he says again. V'lezecha b'bir v'zel l'shona Adam levar hu mislavish b'kitzonius olamos hanikra levar. Chutz, which is Chutz. V'al yedecha v'al yado, what's its lavshot nisaknu, that's where it is besuken. Eretz, the atzma, this word Eretz, the atzmos, the Zion Tachtonis, the Malchus Adam Kadmon. Let's go over the word again. But the word Eretz, the Eretz refers to the atzmos, that means the light itself, of the Zion Tachtonis, the Malchus Adam Kadmon, and the Malchus of Adam Kadmon. Enot Sarach Atikun, it doesn't need a tikkun. Because everything there is, let's say, pure light. Kamosh la'asad, like in the future, Shiyeh Shem Ben Kitzonis Gadol Min Shem Ma. So let's say that Shem Ben, it's a Kitzonius. It will be greater than the name Ma, Shem Ma, Shuhu Penimis, which is Penimis. V'az Sham, let me say, Sham Bechinas Levar, and there you have the concept of Babar, which is Kitzonius Klal. Sham Bechitzonius Bezayin Tachtonas, so then when we're talking about the outside of the Zayin Tachtonas that we were talking about, of the Malchus of Ak, Tachtonas Lamata Bekalil Adam, that's where the Adam is contained. Now, after you read it again, sorry, didn't really understand it, but it's 100%. So he says, Einut Sarak Tikkun, he says that the inside doesn't need a Tikkun because it's pure. V'chakol Pnimis, like in the future, Sheyicha B'Shem Ben Chitzonis Gadol Min Shem Ma. He means to say that the Chitzonis is going to be greater than the Ma, Shehu Pnimis, which is on the inside. Ve'ein Sham B'chinas Levar, and there will not be there an aspect of Levar, which Kitzoni is Kalal. I'm not sure what he meant by that. He means that there's going to be a complete unity there, but I'm not sure what he meant. B'sham B'chitzoni, so there in the B'chitzonis, that is of the Zion Tachtonis, L'madacha B'kalil Adam, that's where you start to pick up the concept of Adam. It's on the other side, let's say, of the Zion Tachtonis, which is the Kitzonius of Adam Kadmon. The Klal Adam, Sham, so is the Shem Ma, Ki, the Kol, Hazivugim, Kolul Ma'u Ben, so is whenever there's, on all Yekudim, that's what happens. Uvakan, Ba'erik Ba'erich, Anal, Adam Lo Kolul Chocha, the man, that is that Yichud between Zocha and Nok, or the male and female, he says, doesn't take place there. Ki ein sark l'tikun shel shem ma Adam. And that's kind of what he wanted to try to say. He says, because there is no tikkun there of what we call Adam, that doesn't take place there because it doesn't need it. Because shechein ish shehu b'birach malachim, when ish is now, he says, what does ish mean? Ish means the birach malachim, yedecha kafiyas hara lo nitztarak Sham Ad Kan. So he said so he says that the word Ish refers to the Bira Hamalachim. That's, I guess it means the unprocessed light that is coming up from down below. And we do it by humbling the raw. Lo nitztarach sham ad kan. So I'm not sure that I understood 100%. There is a note here down on number Kaf Dalet. Maybe that will help us some. Okay, and it says like this: Rasol Lomar. So it went on the phrase. The phrase was He says Adam lebarku mislavish bechitzonius olomos hanikraim lebar chutz, which means outside. Va'ayidera v'al yado nisaknin. So I'm not sure what he means by yado of what nisaknin, because they're outside. I'm not sure. But so Lomar Adam. It causes itself to do that, or it does that. This is the tension of the Ein Sof. So he says is that it should be mislavish in the chitzonis olamos. Biruri hamalachim. And what are the chitzonis olamos? So the chitzonis olamos. So he says the birurim hamalachim the shem ben. So they're birurim. V'hainu besod hatikun, that is the sikun. The secret of this tikkun, that is the ma going to the ben, which is in the kitzonis. The shem ma misaking shem ben, that's what the malachim kanoidim. V'rei le'el, look up above, v'cha'arish sham ba'orach, and you'll see there's more onto it. Let's go to the next note. Next note, trying to put together their words. The next note we'll read up at the top where it says Adam. Lo kalil hocha is never gets incorporated over here. He says, why? What does that mean? Ki ein sarach l'tikun shel shem ma adam. So it isn't necessary to have a ki tikun of the shem ma, which is also the word for Adam. So they're the same gematria. The kol shechein ish shuhu bira malachim, which is the bira malachim, and we saw that again. This is the first time I think we saw that the word ish goes with the idea of the bira. So certainly that's not going to be the bira malachim. Ayidera kafiyas raw, and how does this happen? By the humbling of the raw. Lo nitztarach sham ad kam. It's not necessary there. And let's see what he has to say in this note. So he says in this beer of the Indian kafelas haloshen, in the v. I'm in the wrong place. I'm sorry. Here we are, number kaf hey. There we go. So he says, beer nosef for pifirish sulam. Sulam adds this. Sal Lashona, this is the actual language. Adam lebarhu, Adam lechutz me'erik anpenhu. Okay, no. Shazer anpen hanikra Adam, malbish el erik anpen mebechutz mitibura lamata. Now, this, everybody's been saying this, so this doesn't say anything particularly new here. The ish, and certainly the ish, because the ish is, which is a lower status, who yisod zer anpin, which is here, now, this is what he wants to say, it refers to the yisod of zer anpin. So he said, wait a minute, back again, he says, Adam malbish as erik anpin mibachutz, vitibur lamata. Mikol shechein ish, which is only the lower part of zer anpin, the zer anpin, shuhu afilu mechutz lezer anpin, which is either outside of zer anpin, ki nahi ein levar begufa, no. Kol shechein shuhu mechutz the erik anpin, and certainly it's outside of erik anpin. So he said the fichoch, so he says the fichoch, lo kolil chochi, it's not chochi, it's not included here. Ein lechem his kolos bedikna de erik anpen, doesn't have, it's not incorporated in that place at all. Okay, we're going to stop here and we'll pick up the next one tomorrow. Metzger Sham, today is the 21st, Teves. And we'll stop here and we'll go over to the Tivik Avanos where we have some things going on.